Laura from Doggy U, and I'm a certified guide dog mobility instructor, service dog trainer, and trick dog trainer. And these are my dogs, Cool Whip and Jake. Now, some people might say that maybe this many crates is an excessive amount of crates for 2 dogs, like my husband, but other people might say that I am the perfect person to do an unbiased crate review. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all the different types of crates and which one might fit your lifestyle best and what you need for your dog, as well as talk about some of the reasons one might use a crate. So let's get started. So, like I said, this is a totally unbiased review. Nobody gave me crates. I purchased all of them myself. Some of them I bought new, some of them I bought secondhand. And I have a couple tips if you are looking for a crate, is to check Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. You can sometimes find a steal there if you're willing to do a little bit of cleanup of maybe an old favorite. Also, another tip is if you do find one of these more expensive crates on the marketplace, go ahead and offer the person $25 to $50 more than they put it on Facebook for, because these crates sell fast and they're much more likely to give you that crate and you're not gonna have to fight with a bunch of people for it. So hopefully those tips help when you're looking at more of the investment style crates and getting them in a price that you can afford. Because I'm not an expert on crate safety and safety testing, I'm gonna have you refer to each manufacturer for information on that. However, I am gonna give some general safety advice regarding crates and types of crates. I'm going to go over these crates from lowest to highest investment, but remember that you can definitely find deals out there and that some of these higher cost items will literally last you a lifetime. And especially protect your dog and you in the event of an accident better than some of the less expensive options. It's a buy one and done, last forever situation. So before I give you some quick info about why and how I use crates, I want to know down in the comments, do you use a crate at home or in the car? And I'd love to know some more information about why you choose to or choose not to use a crate. So throw that down in the comments below. So here's just a little bit of info about how and why I use crates. First, they're awesome for potty training and helping teach that young dog that we want to not soil in the house and instead relieve ourselves outside. They're also great for general management and management of young dogs, making sure that they don't get into anything that's going to make them sick while you're not able to supervise them properly. This can also give you a lot of peace of mind while you're away, making sure that you know that your dog is safe. Additionally, it's an important life skill. At some point in your dog's life, they're going to have to go to the vet, get injured and be on crate rest, or maybe even go to a board and train program. It's useful for your dog to be able to be crated, and some programs, especially in-home ones, aren't going to allow a dog that doesn't crate well to be in the program because they don't want to cause stress for the dog, and crates are sometimes a management tool that a trainer is going to use, especially in a multi-dog household. Crates are also a great way to contain messy food puzzles and toys. I love feeding my dogs topples, marrow bones, all of those things, but I do not want raw meat all over my floor. So I can use the crate, put a crate mat down, and then just go and wash that crate mat instead of getting it on my carpet. Speaking of containing messes, they're also great at keeping your car clean too. They contain some of the hair, as well as make sure that a dog that's just been out having some fun swimming or hiking or rolling in the mud doesn't get that all over your vehicle. It's much easier to pull a crate out and clean it than clean your seats. Most importantly, crating in the car is the safest way for your dog to ride. Period. Nobody plans on having an accident, but if you do, a dog can become a projectile and very seriously injure themselves or you during an accident. And keeping them in that crate protects you and the dog during the event of an accident. It also protects the dog from falling out of a window when they're not contained, and it prevents distracted driving. So people who maybe turn around because their dog is seat belted and then now they're tangled up and now they're not watching the road. So using a crate keeps everybody on the road safe. Just make sure that you tether it down to a tether point in the vehicle. Using crates can also be a great way to manage a multi-dog household, especially during feeding time and training. Using crates to feed each of your dog's meals helps the dogs really love the crate, but also avoids any guarding behavior. They're also really useful in training sessions if your dog doesn't have a nice go-to place and stay yet. You can put the dog in the crate with a topple or bone and close the door and take the other dog out and train them and then switch. So each dog is getting special time to do something and not interfering with the other dog's training. So you can just focus on the one dog you're training at the moment. So those are some of the ways that I use crates in my daily life and household, but I may have forgotten something. So if I did, make sure you put it down below so that everyone can benefit from your ideas and knowledge. All right, let's get started talking about the different types of crates and how they might fit within your lifestyle and what works best for you and your dog. So let's start with a low-cost option, your general wire crate made by companies like Midwest or iCrate that come with a divider. These ones are great at-home options, and especially for young puppies, because you can put a divider in to make the crate small, and then it allows you to grow with your puppy as they become more potty trained. They also are excellent for ventilation and easy to store flat. They do rattle a lot if you try to travel with them either flat or in the car, and when you do store them flat in the car, you can throw some towels in to make them rattle a little bit less. But this crate is not the best option in the event of an accident because it's easily bent or broken. Some other issues you may have with it is the dogs can pull things through it. So if you leave things nearby the crate, the dog may try to pull a blanket or pull something through it. Also, for dogs that try to escape crates, this is not a good option. These types of dogs will bend in the bars or pull on it and cause injuries to themselves or break the crate. So let's move on to the Vari-Kennel style crate, or the plastic crates that are probably the next level up as far as price goes. These crates can be great for a lot of dogs, and I find that many dogs do better with the enclosed feeling of the crate, which can also block visually some stimulus. So if you have a dog, for instance, that tends to bark in the car because they see things going by, using a crates with the plastic sides can be really helpful for this and help them settle down more quickly. They're also much less likely to be able to bend in the bars of these kennels, so that's a benefit over the wire crates as well. Now, there definitely are some downsides. They are harder to store for sure than your wire type kennel, as well as they don't have great ventilation. So if you're using one of these crates and you have a dog that runs warm or your house is warm, you're gonna wanna put a fan in front of it so you can get the air moving inside. And as far as in the event of an accident, they can crack, and I've seen them crack without a dog in them. So know that they are better than having your dog riding loose in the car. However, they are not the highest level of protection if you are in a real accident. All right, moving on. Let's talk about one of my favorite options out there, the Ruffland Kennel. This is my favorite budget-conscious option for those that want to crate their dog in the car, and I own several of them because they have a ton of benefits for a less cost than a lot of these higher end kennels while still getting a lot of protection for your dog. First, they're a bit of a thinner kennel. So when we're talking about car crating, it means you can fit them more places. I have a 2013 Prius V. I can fit a large and an intermediate Ruffland next to each other in the back of the car very easily. And they're very easy to pull in and out because they're not super heavy. That being said, the thinner width does mean that bulkier dogs are going to have a harder time turning around in them. There's also a lot of options as far as configurations go. So they have front and back doors, they have one door, they have front and side door, and they even have an SUV model. I like to have multiple doors on my crates if possible because it allows for better configurations depending on what vehicle I'm in or where they are in the house, but also in the event of emergency. There's been situations where I haven't been able to get a dog out the back of my car, so having a second door that they can come out of has been critical. So thinking about safety in that respect, having two doors is definitely better, as well as better for ventilation for your dog. They also have a lot of great accessories. The newer ones, I believe, come with the handles, but even the older ones, you can put them on as an accessory. They also have these buckets that you can fit nicely on top, which is really nice for storage, depending on your vehicle or even in the home. Like I said, they're light enough for me to easily move around, and they're also really easy to clean. Because the walls of the crate are really smooth, they are easy to scrub down, and you can actually take the doors off of them, which is one of by far my favorite features, especially as someone who's spent a lot of time living in a van, is that I can take the doors off the crate, have a space where my dog can relax if they want to without having to shut them in there. So definitely that's one of my favorite features. They also have a locking kit available, though I have to say it's probably not the safest lock out there and when we compare them to some of our other options. And they also do have door guards available for dogs that try to bite at the crate doors. This is by far my favorite all-around crate if you're willing to drop a little bit of cash on this lifetime item. And like I said, check secondhand options like Facebook or Craigslist. One of these crates that I found, I got for $75 an hour away from me, and all I had to do was replace a door and clean it. That's a great deal and a great value. They're also pretty prevalent, so more people are going to have them on the secondhand marketplace than some of the other crates that might be available. So if you're looking for a crate that is budget conscious, but also much safer in the car from the first two options that I talked about, I would definitely check out these Ruffland Kennels. All right, let's talk about custom crates. Now, the price range on this can vary significantly. The one that I have here is from SafeCrate. It was a relatively local company where I could send in my dimensions and my requirements, and they would make it for me at a reasonable rate for something that's really custom. But there's many of this type of manufacturer out there that are going to be able to make something custom to your specifications as far as width, bar size, doors, all of those kinds of things. I specifically got this crate because I was looking for a crate with really good airflow. I wanted lots of ventilation for the German Shepherd guide dogs that I was working, and this crate fit the bill for sure. I was also looking for something that I could lock securely so that when I left my vehicle, say at a competition or a show, I would be able to lock the dog and leave my trunk open. I like to use that in combination with a vent lock. I did a video on vent lock, so I'll put one here. It's one of my favorite lesser known pieces of equipment when you have a dog, so definitely check that out. But basically I can lock my dog in the crate, use a vent lock, and now I know that my dog is secure while I'm away while still getting extra ventilation of the car being open. Just remember to never lock a locking crate while you're traveling in the car with your dog. You want it to always be unlocked so that in the event of an accident, you're not trying to find a key to get your dog out. I specifically love this crate because it has so many doors and even an escape door, which I actually had to use once. So I had two crates in the back of my van, which meant that both the front and the side door were blocked. The back of the van would not open, it just had malfunctioned. So I was able to get the dog out by crawling through the escape door into the front of the vehicle. So having multiple door options and even an escape door can be really helpful and can be a lifesaver in some situations. There's a couple downsides to this particular crate and styles of crates like this, and one is it's really heavy. This particular crate is super heavy. I can move it myself, but it's a chore. It really is better to have two people to move it, as well as it's more difficult to clean. Because it's got bars, that means you have to clean around each separate bar versus a flat surface. So definitely a couple negatives, but I feel like the benefits of having exactly what you want made to your specification for some people are gonna be worth it. All right, another really safe crate that's like Fort Knox is the TransK9. And that's another one I was able to get secondhand. I did have to drive from Connecticut to Toledo, Ohio and back to get it, but the cost was right for me to do that. So I really like that crate, and I made a full video review about it. So I'll link that up above in the card and down below so you can check out that full video, but I'll talk a little bit about it here. First, I found that this is one of the crates that keeps your car the cleanest. Like, it keeps dog hair in and away from the front of the car. That being said, you sacrifice ventilation in that regard too. What I do like about this crate is the larger ones that fit the entire trunk space come with a divider. So sometimes I'll have a dog on one side and my groceries very well protected on the other side, or you can pull the divider and use one big crate for the back of the car. It also has the benefit of being able to lock it as well as leave your trunk open because the crate is heavy. It's another one of those heavy ones that's hard to pull in and out, but it does mean if it's tied down, probably no one's running off with it, and you can safely lock your dog in there with the trunk open with a vent lock and feel very secure that your dog is going to be safe. So if you want to learn more about that one specifically, definitely check out the link below for the full review. Okay, so the last crate I own 3 of, which means I really like it. And the brand of that crate is the Impact Crate. And I've actually bought 2 of them used, which was great. I got one in South Dakota mostly because it was so pretty, which is not a good reason to buy something, but it's like kind of a good reason. And then I also got one used for really inexpensively here in Connecticut. So definitely check the marketplace on this one. And then finally, it is also the crate that most expensive crate that I've bought new. I have one that I purchased new, and it was for a really good reason, and that is travel. This is my absolute favorite travel crate, and I'm gonna show you why. So last year I spent 40% of the year in hotel rooms, which is like 150 nights, not at my house, which means I travel a lot. And this impact crate collapses and it is expensive, and I do not care because it has so much value to me to be able to pack this thing down into a suitcase. It's relatively light and you just carry it up the hotel stairs and you put it back together in the hotel room, and I love that. The collapsible ones are also great for camping. So I car camp a lot, which means I sleep in my car, which means I have limited space. So I can have the crate set up for my dog while we're traveling, make sure she's safe and secure, and also has a place for her to go when she's dirty and gross. But then at night when I'm going to bed, I can break down the crate, roll out my mattress, and have lots of space for me and her in the car. So it's the collapsibility of it as well as the safety aspect of it is really, really nice for the type of lifestyle that my dogs and I live. It's also lockable with this really fun slam latch, which I just like it. You can buy it with a lock inside, or you can put a lock through. There's a spot for that as well, which is really nice. Because they're flat on top, they also make really nice spots to put storage, to put things on top of, or put a bin on top, or you can even use it as a spot for your dog to go to place if it's in your training room and that makes sense for you. Just put a non-slip mat over the top of it. Like I said, the one that I primarily use collapses easily and builds up really quickly, less than a minute to get that done. I've collapsed mine hundreds of times with zero issues. Now, the larger size collapsible one that I bought secondhand does rattle a bit in the car, so that's why I use it inside, so just be cautious of that. My smaller intermediate doesn't rattle at all, it's completely silent. Like I said, I also have one that I bought off of Facebook Marketplace for like, I think less than 300 bucks. Not collapsible, just a standard one. I love it because it's got great handles. It's also huge. I think it's like 42 inches or something like that. Great for a German Shepherd, slides in and out easily of the car, and it's, you know, long but not super wide, so it fits a lot of different places. And the final bonus perk of the impact crates is one of their standard colors is gray, and if you buy a gray crate and you put a dog in it, especially in the small one, it looks like you are transporting a tiny velociraptor, which I just think is fun. So yeah, impact is definitely one of my favorites, but it's also the biggest investment as far as crates go. But it's safe, and the collapsibility of it, along with the safety, makes it a no-brainer for me as a professional. But hopefully this review will help you look at what your needs are for your crates, and maybe just the first couple that I reviewed are perfect for your lifestyle, while maybe some of you professionals or high dog sport people might do better in some of these higher end crates. So I know I didn't cover every single crate on the market, but hopefully that'll give you an idea of the type of crate that'll fit best for your lifestyle and your dog. And if you want me to do more video reviews, make sure you drop them down in the comments below so I know what you want to see videos of. If you want to support the channel, come join us over on the DoggyU community for as little as $3 a month at patreon.com/DoggyU, where you get exclusive training videos as well as a live Q&A every month where I answer your questions. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you boop that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this one too, so you should probably click on it next. You all have an awesome day and happy training.